This lecture is about use case-based software testing. Use case-based testing is an object-oriented testing technique that derives test cases from expanded use cases. First, prioritize use cases using the requirement use case traceability matrix. Next, generate test scenarios from the expanded use cases. Then, identify test cases. Next, generate test data. Afterwards, generate test scripts. Use cases are prioritized to ensure that the highest quality use cases are tested, as resources and time may be at a minimum. The requirements use case traceability matrix contains rows of requirements and columns of use cases. If a use case is related to a requirement, the cell at the intersection of the requirement and the use case in the matrix is checked. The bottom row sums up the priority of each use case. The priority of each requirement is shown in the first column. Use cases related to each requirement are indicated by an X in the cell that intersects the use case and the requirement. The priorities of the use cases are the sums of the requirements priorities indicated in the last row of the table. Sufficient test cases can be derived from the use case scenarios. The use case scenarios contain a primary scenario and a number of secondary scenarios that are alternative ways that the use case can be carried out. Here is an example of use case 5. The name is register for an event. The actor is an event participant. The precondition is that the participant has an account on the system and that the participant has already registered for the event. The scenario is scanned for user input, which is the email, the password, and event related information. Then we scan for output, which is that the system displays a confirmation. To identify the secondary scenarios, we look at the normal cases and the abnormal cases of user input validation. Other exceptions are also listed, as the system is down or the user quits before completing registration. For each primary and secondary scenario, a test case should be created. Identifying test cases from the scenarios using the test case matrix. The rows list the test cases identified. The columns list the scenarios, the user input variables, and the system state variables, and expected outcome for each scenario. Each entry is either a V indicating a valid variable value for the scenario, an I indicating an invalid variable value for the scenario, or NA indicating a not applicable variable value for the scenario. Here is a test case matrix. The test cases on each row and inputs are in the columns. Here is an example of test data that corresponds to the test data input types.